All right. Hi, everyone, and happy Friday. Thanks again for joining us for another PWA Studio Community Sync. Today, we have a few demos from the team. We'll kind of go through, make our way through, and then we'll go to Community Corner. We'll take any kind of open questions or anybody that's on the line that kind of has anything they want to talk about, and then we'll wrap from there and go on and enjoy our weekends, right? So first up on our side for demo, we have Mr. James Kalkman with a review of the new extensibility docs.
Cool. Thanks, Andrew. Let me share my screen. Right. So as Andrew said, we've published the first set of docs related to the extensibility framework. These are just reference docs that's generated from the source code, the JS docs from the source code. But there are three sets. They're each in the reference sections: build pack, Peregrine, and Venya. One of the big changes we've done in the build pack section is we've organized the navigation better to group the different libraries and pieces of that package. So you can find the targets here in this topic. I list out all the different tappable targets in the build package, and I've provided some examples here, just small ones. Rest assured that we are going to be providing tutorials and updating our current tutorials to reflect these changes. So that's coming up. Peregrine API extension points are here. They're pretty easy to find. And we've listed the currently available wrappable talons in this topic. And of course, Venya UI have their own extension points here, which are rich content and routes. Are there any questions about that? No questions? All right, back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, James. Yeah. So as Timothy pointed out, right, we do have a plan to create some additional enablement material, training material around this new extensibility framework. And we're also looking at larger kind of events, kind of more like similar to a lab and potentially leading into a hackathon where we can really help the community along with introducing these new concepts, training on the new concepps, and then allowing you to being there to help guide you along as you try to build on some of the new framework. So stay tuned for all of that content, all of those updates. Something that we're working through and working to schedule sooner rather than later, likely this quarter, leading into next. So that I think is it for extensibility for now. Up next we have Andy, who has a couple different demos on his side.
Sweet. Thanks, Andrew. I'll share my screen real quick. All right. So let's see. This is the first of the My Account pages, I guess, that we're going to show off today. I think Tommy's going to show off the communications page, but this is the order history page. This is not a fully fleshed out order history page. We kind of broke it out into a few different stories. So this is just the very first, we called it a skeleton, which is like create the basic structure of the page, and then we'll fill it in with the actual data of the page in subsequent tickets. So I think previously we had seen this order history, My Account menu when you're signed in. So this is an authenticated user, and they get this list of My Account links. So a few of these are active now. This PR is this order history one. If you click order history, you just come to this order history page. Not much to look at. I'm gonna kind of not spend too much time here, but just wanted to let you know that it's here and it's online, and it will be filled out, like I said, in kind of some subsequent tickets pretty soon here. And then Tommy's going to show off communications, which is also active. So these things are coming along, making some progress on the My Account Epic, which is pretty cool. Let me see if there's any other highlights here. Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Not much going on there. Okay, the other one I wanted to highlight or show off is actually PR from Jordan. So this is respecting redirects from the back end. So a lot of time in our URL resolver, we were, and actually I have the code changes right here. So we were just requesting type and ID, but there's also, you can go into the admin and set a redirect. So this adds the ability to handle redirects to PWA, so that's awesome. So we request that information. I collapse some of the like testing files and stuff, but eventually it bubbles up, and here in the use Magento route talon, we kind of, here are basically the redirect codes, a temporary and a permanent redirect. And this is a lot of like code change moving around, so there's not actually that many changes here, but here's the main change. So if we have data for this route, but it's a redirect, then we just go ahead and perform the redirect on the front end. And what that looks like is I've got Venia tops, the tops category here, and I've redirected this Penelope peasant blouse to a different product page. I honestly can't remember which one I did. We will see it here in a second. So when I click this, normally I would go to the PDP for the Penelope peasant blouse. The reason I'm saying that one very slowly is because I always say Penelope pleasant blouse. Not actually it. Penelope peasant blouse. But it is also a pleasant blouse. But when I click this, I don't expect to go to the PDP for the Penelope peasant blouse. I'm going to go somewhere else because it's a redirect. If I come in here, you can see in the URL already the Susanna draped tank, and then this PDP shows up here. So most of this work, almost all of the work was done by Jordan. So shout out to Jordan. Just kind of moved some of the logic from the component to the talent was really it. So, so that's online now too, and that is it for my demos. Any questions on either one of those?
Andy, it looks like there's a question from Chris in the chat. I don't know if he wants to jump on and ask it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Sorry.
Yeah.
We did not nest them. We can. I think we talked about it for like 5 minutes, but if you have a strong case for nesting them or whatever, definitely let us know.
The only thing I can think of is like SEO, like if we wanted to just restrict everything after /account or something like that from being indexed into like individual URLs or anything. But that's like it'd purely be like an SEO thing maybe, or just like a structure. If I wanted to remove audit history and go to my account, I know I can just delete it from the URL and go to my account or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's cool. We can definitely talk about that because I think actually as all these skeletons are coming online at the same time, folks are doing them a little bit differently. So we definitely have to come to consensus on which strategy we're going to use. So good feedback for sure. All right, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Any other questions for Andy on my account or redirects PR?
Oh, I should mention there's no logic in, and we kind of talked about this for a little bit too, there's no logic in the redirects PDR to stop you from like looping your redirects. So you set your redirects in the admin panel. If you set a loop, like that's your fault, basically.
I think
we're not going to do anything in the code to kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I think
cool.
they prevent infinite loops, so that hopefully is not possible.
Cool. Sounds good.
Although I like the answer, if it's just on you, you got to deal with it. You know. Pretty good, Andy. All right. Thanks, Andy. So up next we have Tommy, who's going to demo for one of our community contributors that gave us a PR for around my account as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, so continuing on this theme of just showcasing other contributions that we've received. This is another PR that we got. It was a little experiment towards, this is actually like something that we are working on internally. Like we're working on the My Account Epic right now. This contributor didn't know that, saw that this was a gap and submitted this PR. Instead of just throwing that away, we decided that it was close enough and that with a little bit of guidance that this could kind of go into and help us out in that regard. So Hui submitted this PR. There's a lot of collaboration between me and them, but the end state looks really good, and I think we've all learned a lot through the process. So I just wanted to demo it really quick. Andy showed off kind of what's going on here. So this is already merged, so this is on the developed site. So there's two menu options now to get to communications, either in this new header that you see on desktop or here in the sidebar as well. So going to the communications page, there's only one newsletter. So this is newsletter, by the way. We're calling it communications. There's only one newsletter that we have access to in GraphQL now. So all you're going to see is, hey, do you want to subscribe to the newsletter? So you can check it, save your changes. When it saves, it'll pop a little toast. All of this looks great on mobile as well. So there you go. Just a little more responsive. And it's a very simple page. It's just one checkbox. So that's about it, all driven from GraphQL. It's your preferences, and then from there on out, any newsletter updates that you send through the Magento backend, this person will now receive. So kind of just a tiny little gap that we were missing that's now covered. Very straightforward. Any questions there? Cool. Well, if there's no questions, I did also want to chime in on the kind of auth route kind of discussion we were having, because we also got a tip in the scope of one of Andy's PRs about handling authenticated routes. Like we're all doing it ourselves now in effects and we're just saying like, hey, if I'm not signed in, kick this person back to the home page. And we've implemented that like 4 or 5 times now. So we're thinking maybe a dedicated route could be another way to handle that. Like if I'm in the customer path and I'm not logged in, I know I need to be kicked out of there. So Chris, great topic there, and we'll definitely be talking about that. And if you have any other ideas or things that we should consider when making that change, definitely let us know.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. So I think that about does it in terms of our demo topics. I know we have Lars on the line. I think we had Jordan, but I think he may have dropped. So Lars, anything on your side in terms of Community Corner?
Yeah, John was writing this week in a community chat, but there was nothing so special currently. Nobody pinged me or for that reason, and it's really hard to prepare a short, valuable thing. Maybe there is a request on the community. Hey, if you have something for all people, what is interesting, write a Slack message to the team, and we help you to get a spot on our Friday demo.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, in general, again, our standard update of reach out to Lars, reach out to Jordan from the community if you have any questions, anything that you want to demo, anything that you're working on, any projects. If you're writing a blog, if you're implementing a PWA a site, you can reach out to us, of course, and we can make sure to highlight that content here. And then, of course, if you're in the community looking to contribute, again, look at the managed board, the community backlog board. We're working. We've heard the request in the community of, hey, I want to contribute, but I don't want to just work on some of you guys' bugs. I want to work on some cool new features, right? To date, Lars has kind of taken all those cool features and banged them out for us. So you can really just blame Lars. But we're working on in the next couple of weeks making sure we backfill, that community board and make sure we pull in some more feature work, some additional feature work out of the backlog for those contributors that are excited and interested in doing that. So keep your eye out for that. Um, Quickly, I see that there was a question from John. So the question is, just wondering where these changes, enhancements exist. Are they expected in a new PWA Studio release? So yes, John. So as we demo some of these things, when we're in between releases, they're of course, once they're merged, they're available from develop. And so the develop.pwa-venue.com, I think, is the develop kind of site where you can see the changes. You can also see them by going to the specific PRs in the GitHub repo. And then, of course, the plan would be that they would be in the next subsequent major or minor release, right? So currently, that would be the next release for us. The next major release for us will be 8.0.0, and so timing for that is still TBD, but that is the plan. Awesome. So I guess quickly here before we do end on a kind of around the horn, see if there are any other questions. Just a quick update on our progress as a team, right? Obviously, you can see from some of the demos, we continue to work through the My Account Epic. The plan being to have the first phase of My Account features delivered in an upcoming release, with that being order history, account info, stored payments, address book, wish lists, and then the communication preferences that you saw Tommy demo from Hoycon. So that's that first phase of My Account work that we're working to deliver. And then we have, of course, internationalization and localization work stream in Epic that's in progress. I don't know if Dave's on the line wants to give a quick update, but I think, in terms of where we're at, we've kind of more fully decomped and groomed it, and progress has started, and we're kind of excited for the direction that things are heading for internationalization and localization. I'll pause there.
Yeah, I'm here. We've started on our stories, but we're working on the GraphQL side of things first. So there's nothing to really show. Hopefully in the next sync, we can start showing some of the work we've done.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. So that's where we're at today. Quick question in chat. Should we expect any of the internalization work in version 8? That is a good question. I think ideally that would be the goal, but I also know that, the team, we're working towards more frequent. I don't know if you guys, there's some background noise that you guys can hear. There's a yard guy out there. So we're working towards more frequent kind of independent releases. So I think it's to be determined on what exactly the contents will be of the next release and the timing of it. But obviously that would also be the goal, is to see what valuable kind of, I forget the invest strategy, right? Pieces we could actually ship in that release versus hold off for the next. So TBD, I guess, is the takeaway answer, which is not really an answer. Any other questions on what we're working on as a team? Cool. Well then, here we'll just go around the horn. Anybody have any updates they want to jump in with? Zetlin, Jimmy, Dave, anybody else on the team or anybody on the line that has a general question? Feel free to jump in now, otherwise we'll wrap. All right. Well, awesome.
Actually,
Thanks,
this is brief, but I timed that perfectly.
You did.
This is brief, but there's a few people that we've spoken to about extensibility over the last week. Not everyone on this call has come and approached us, and we've approached some people, but everyone is welcome to go talk to us. But those folks that we've talked to, I just wanted to say we were helped tremendously by the conversation that we've had this week. It's really important to us to get that feedback, and we feel like the next steps for us with the extensibility framework are clearer than ever. So you know who you are. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And again, as we saw earlier with Jimothy showing off those extensibility dev docs, feel free in your time, if you're on the call, peruse those docs, or if you're watching the video, peruse those docs, give us feedback, reach out to us and let us know what your thoughts are. And it's incredibly valuable for us. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see everyone next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.